Hey, welcome back. You are now inside the city of English. And if this is your very first time here, I want you to feel something right now. I want you to feel welcome. This is not a classroom. There are no tests here. Nobody is going to grade you. Nobody is going to mark your paper with a red pen and make you feel small. This is a conversation between you and me. My name is Leo, and this is the place where real people learn real English. Not textbook English, not robotic English, not the kind of English where you memorize 50 grammar rules and still can't say, "Could you say that again?" without freezing up. No, we do things differently here. We learn English the way a child learns their first language, by living it, by breathing it, by making mistakes, laughing at those mistakes, and then doing better the next time. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's do this together. Why most people struggle with English and why it's not your fault. Before we dive into today's lesson, I want to say something very important. Something that maybe nobody has ever told you before. It is not your fault. If you've been studying English for 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, and you still feel like something is missing, it is not your fault. The system failed you. Here's the truth. Most English education systems around the world are designed to teach you about English, but they never teach you how to use English. They teach you grammar charts, they teach you vocabulary lists, they teach you how to fill in blanks on a test, but they never sit down with you and say, "Hey, how was your morning? What did you have for breakfast? What are you worried about today?" They never treat you like a human being who has real thoughts, real feelings, and a real life that deserves to be expressed in English. And that is the gap we are filling here at the City of English. Let me give you an example, a very real example. Imagine you meet someone from America, maybe at work, maybe at a coffee shop, maybe online, and they say to you, "Hey, what's up?" Now, if you learned English from a textbook, your brain goes into panic mode. You think, "What's up? What does that mean? Up? Like the ceiling? The sky? Is something wrong? Are they asking about elevation?" And by the time your brain finishes that whole process, the conversation has already moved on. And you smile and you nod, and inside you feel embarrassed. Sound familiar? Yeah, I know. I've been there too. But here's what "what's up" actually means. It's just, "Hello, how are you?" It's casual, it's friendly. The correct answer, you can say, "Not much. You?" Or, "Hey, I'm good, thanks. How about you?" That's it. That's the whole answer. Simple, natural, human. And that's exactly what we do here. We take the confusing parts of real English and we break them down until they make complete sense. Not because English is hard, but because nobody ever explained it to you properly before. The one mindset shift that changes everything. Okay, so I want to talk about mindset today because I truly believe, and I've seen this with thousands of English learners, that the number one thing blocking most people is not grammar, it's not vocabulary, it's not even pronunciation. It's fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of saying the wrong word and having someone laugh at you. And I understand that fear completely. It's real. It's painful. When you're speaking in a second language, you feel exposed. You feel like the real, intelligent, funny, smart you is hidden behind this wall of broken sentences and forgotten words. But here is what I need you to understand today. Every single person who speaks English fluently today, every single one, went through exactly what you are going through right now. Every native English speaker said "I goed to the store" instead of "I went to the store" when they were young. Every English learner who sounds perfect today once forgot the word for something basic like umbrella and stood in the rain because they couldn't ask someone for help. Fluency is not a destination, it's a journey. And right now, today, you are on that journey, and that means you are already succeeding. I want you to try something with me right now. Wherever you are, whether you're on your phone, your laptop, watching this on your TV, I want you to say this sentence out loud. I am learning English, and I am proud of myself. Say it. Don't be shy. Say it. Good. How did that feel? Maybe a little awkward, maybe a little silly, but you said it in English, and that matters. Because here's the mindset shift I was talking about. Stop trying to be perfect. Start trying to be understood. Perfection is the enemy of fluency. When you focus on being perfect, you freeze, you overthink, you edit yourself before you even speak, and nothing comes out. But when your goal is simply to be understood, suddenly you have more courage. You take risks. You use the words you do know, even if you're not sure they're the right words. And most of the time, people understand you, and you get better and better every single time. English in real life. Let's talk about morning routines. All right, let's get into something practical now, because at the City of English, we don't just talk about learning English, we actually do it together. And today, I want to start with something that every single one of you does every single day, your morning routine. This is one of the most powerful ways to build English into your daily life, and it's so simple that most people overlook it completely. Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to narrate your morning in English, in your head or out loud if you're brave enough. Let me show you what that sounds like. My alarm goes off at 7 o'clock. I reach over and turn it off. I stay in bed for 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. Okay, maybe 10. I finally get up. I walk to the bathroom. I look in the mirror. My hair is a disaster. I wash my face with cold water. That wakes me up fast. I go to the kitchen. I make coffee. I sit by the window. Outside, I can hear birds. The sky is blue today. It's going to be a good day. Now, let me ask you, did you understand all of that? Most of it? Good. Notice something about those sentences. They were short. They were clear. They used simple present tense, simple past tense, the building blocks of everyday English. This is real English. This is the English you actually need. Not the temporal commencement of my diurnal activities was initiated at 7 o'clock anti-meridium. Nobody talks like that, ever. Please don't talk like that. Real people say, I wake up at 7. Done. Now, I want to give you some vocabulary from the morning routine, words you can actually use, words that real Americans and English speakers use every single day. Ready? Let's go. Word number 1, groggy. Groggy means you feel tired, slow, and not quite awake yet, like your brain is still loading. Example, I was so groggy this morning I put salt in my coffee instead of sugar. Yeah, that's happened to someone. Definitely not me. Word number 2, hit the snooze button. When your alarm rings and you press the button to get 5 more minutes of sleep, you hit the snooze button. Example, I hit the snooze button 3 times this morning. I was almost late for work. Very common, very relatable. Americans say this all the time. Word number 3, grab. Grab is one of the most useful English verbs in daily life. It means to quickly take something. I grabbed my bag and ran out the door. Can you grab me a coffee? She grabbed her phone to check the time. Simple, powerful, versatile. Word number 4, rush. To rush means to move very fast because you are late or in a hurry. I had to rush this morning. I was running late. Don't rush. Take your time. The morning rush is crazy in New York. Word number 5, get going. This is a phrasal verb that means to start moving, to leave, to begin doing something. All right, I need to get going. I have a meeting at 9. Let's get going before traffic gets bad. 5 words, 5 real words. Groggy, hit the snooze button, grab, rush, get going. Now, here's a challenge for you. Can you use all 5 of those words in one short story about your morning? Try it right now. Pause the video if you need to, write it down, say it out loud. I'll give you an example to start. I was so groggy this morning. I hit the snooze button twice, and then I had to rush to get ready. I grabbed my bag and a banana, that was my breakfast, and told myself, let's get going. See, you can do that. That's real English. That's your life in English. English in real life. Let's talk about morning routines. All right, let's get into something practical now, because at the City of English, we don't just talk about learning English, we actually do it together. And today, I want to start with something that every single one of you does every single day, your morning routine. This is one of the most powerful ways to build English into your daily life, and it's so simple that most people overlook it completely. Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to narrate your morning in English, in your head or out loud if you're brave enough. Let me show you what that sounds like. My alarm goes off at 7 o'clock. I reach over and turn it off. I stay in bed for 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. Okay, maybe 10. This is Leo. This has been the City of English. Keep learning, keep speaking, keep showing up for yourself, for your future, for every version of you that English is going to unlock. I'll see you in the next broadcast. And remember, your English is already good enough to begin, and every day you show up, it gets better. Take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you soon.